Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me Ram Pratap, and the guys who are preparing for the UPSC IAS examinations. So I want to tell them that I'm going to start NCERT syllabus, and the students who are studying in sixth class they can also prepare NCERT. But basic strategy if you want to prepare for UPSC IAS, so basic strategy should be to prepare the NCERT books. So this is chapter one, what, where, how and when. This is chapter one of history of class 6. So here I'll start with history. So daily now I'll upload the videos so you can start your study. So let's start. What we can know about the past. So there are several things we can find out what people ate, the kind of clothes they wore, the houses in which they lived. We can find out about the lives of hunters, herders, farmers, rulers, merchants, priests, craftspersons, artists, musicians, scientists. We can also find out about the games children played, the stories they heard, the plays they saw, the songs they sang. So in this we can understand what we can know about the past. So several things we can know like what type of people were at that time, and what type of clothes they were wearing, and in which they were living. So basically we can try to find out their residence as well as their food, and what type of lifestyles and what type of work some people were doing, like hunters, herders, farmers, rulers, etc. And what type of games were being played by the children, as well as what type of songs were sung at that time. So I'll mean to say that these things we have to study in this. Okay. So now let's come to the next point. Where did people live? So find the river Narmada on map. People have lived among the banks of this river for several hundred thousands years. Some of the earliest people who lived here were killed gatherers, that is, people who gathered their food. They know about the vast wealth of plants in surrounding forest, collecting roots, fruits, and other forest produce for their food. They also hunted animals. So in this, guys, we can understand where people were living. So we can understand that the past time people were making their residence just near to the river, and sometimes they were living where water is nearer so that they could get water, and they were also trying to make their residence at that place where food was very near so that they could get food, and in this way they were also trying to set up their residence where surroundings like forest and collected roots and plants were available over there. So their basic food was, we can say, they were interested in hunting. Just because of hunting they were able to make their own food, because at that time they were not known to many other things like wheats and rice. Now find the Solomon and Kirthar hills to the northwest, some of areas where women and men first began to grow crops such as wheat and barley about 8,000 years ago are located here. People also began rearing animals like sheep, goat, and cattle and lived in villages. Locate the Garo hills to northeast and the Vindhyachal in central India. These are some of the other areas here. So basically we can understand that earliest men were came to know about the wheat and barley at 8,000 years ago, about 8,000 years ago, and at that time they also start rearing animals like sheep, goat, and cattle. So and lived in villages. So they are also started living in villages. Okay. So now let's come to the next point. Agriculture developed the places where rice was first grown or to the north of the Vindhyas. So this is very important point that the places where rice was, this question may be asked, where we came to know the rice was first of all grown. So here we can say the north of the Vindhyas. north of the Vindhyas. First of all, rice was first grown. Okay, so trace the river Indus and its tributaries. Tributaries are some smaller rivers that flow into a larger river. About 4,700 years ago, some of the earliest cities flourished on the banks of these rivers. Later, about 2,500 years ago, cities developed in the banks of Ganga and tributaries and along the sea coast. So you can also understand near about 4,700 years ago, some cities were flourished on the bank of these rivers. And if you talk about the Ganga, so Ganga and its tributaries around 2,500 years ago, people started living and they made their own cities over there. Okay, in ancient times, the area along these rivers to the south of the Ganga was known as Magadha. So you can also know that at ancient times, uh, rivers to the south of the Ganga was known. So the rivers which were south of the Ganga was known as Magadha. आप समझ पा रहे होंगे कि जो गंगा के साउथ साइड में जो रिवर्स होते थे उनको मगध के नाम से जानते थे. ओके, इट्स rulers were very powerful and set up a large kingdom. Kingdoms were set up in other parts of the country as well. So at that time, rulers were very powerful, and they set up large kingdoms set up the parts of the country as well. Okay. Throughout, people traveled from one part of the subcontinent to another. The hills and high mountains, including the Himalayas, deserts, rivers, and seas, made journeys dangerous at times, but rivers impossible. So, men and women moved in search of livelihood as also to escape from natural disasters like flood and drought. Sometimes a man marched armies conquering others' land. Besides merchant travel from caravans or ships carrying valuable goods from place to place, and religion teachers walked from village to village, town to town, stopped to offer instruction and advice on the way. Finally, some people perhaps traveled driven by a spirit of adventure, wanting to discover a new existing place. All these led to the sharing of ideas between people. So, in this, basically, nothing is needed to learn. This is just a summary. Okay. So basically, what you have to remember if you are preparing for the civil service examination, you have to understand the facts and factual thing you have to remember, and what was the powerful thing at that time you have to remember, like when civilization were made and when wheat and barley were developed, when wheat and barley were grown. So these are the things which you came to know. Okay, why do people travel nowadays? So basically, in this we can understand why people travel nowadays. So they were just going from one place to another place. Just some people were going just because of food, and some were going in search of hunting. So and some were also interested to capture the lands of the other people. Okay, names of the land, just see name of the lands. Two of the words we often use for our country are India and Bharat. In our constitution we can also study India, which is Bharat. The word India comes from the Indus called Sindhu in Sanskrit. So this is very important. The word इंडिया कम्स फ्रॉम द इंडस कॉल्ड सिंधु इन संस्कृत. संस्कृत में इसको हम लोग सिंधु बोलते हैं, और जो इंडिया वर्ड है वो इंडस से मिलकर बना है. ओके, फाइंड आयरन एंड ग्रीस इन योर एटलस. The Iranian and the Greeks who came through the northwest about 2500 years ago were familiar with the Indus. So we can understand that 25 around about 25 years ago, the Greeks and Iranians who came, so they were very familiar with the Indus, called it the Hindos of the or the Indos, and the land of the east of the river was called India. The name Bharat was used for a group of people who lived in the northwest and who are mentioned in the river Rigveda. The earliest composition in Sanskrit dated to about 2500 years ago. Later it was used for the country. Finding out about the past. These were several ways of finding out about the past. One is search for and read books that were written long ago. So we also came to know about our past with the help of books and manuscripts. So this is important. And the books which were written ancient times, they were also known as manuscripts. So because they were written in the hand of, they were written in the hand of. This comes from the Latin word manu, meaning hand. These were usually written on palm leaf. Just because of palm leaf being written, these were called manuscript. Okay. So what we need to remember in this, so let me tell you. Okay, as you can see these pictures, archaeology also look for bones of animals, birds, and fish to find out what people ate in the past. Plant remains survive for more rarely. If seeds of grass, pieces of wood have been burned, they survive in charred. So basically, came to know. Basically, you need to remember what the things were developed at that time. Okay. Okay. Let's come to the what do dates mean? So if somebody asks you the date, you will probably mention the day, month, and year 2000 and something. These were counted from the date of generally assigned to the birth of the Jesus Christ, the founder of Christianity. So 2000 means 2000 years of the birth of Christ. All dates before the birth of Christ are counted backwards and usually have the letters BC added on. This book will refer to the dates going from the present using 2000 as starting point. So it means that when Jesus Christ was born, so the time which was which was before the Jesus Christ born came to know born BC, and which was counted after the birth of Jesus was came to know AD, Adno domain. Okay. BC, simple words, in simple words, the meaning of BC, that is before Christ, and AD, this is known as Anno Domini. Okay. So, okay, in this way we studied this chapter. So, thank you very much for studying this chapter, and guys, keep on preparing. Okay, so some important points, some important dates you can also remember. The beginning of agriculture. So the beginning of agriculture was started 8,000 years ago. The first city is on the Indus. So first city which was developed, so that name is Indus. It was about 4,700 years ago developed. So it is the Ganga Valley, a big kingdom in Magdha, 2500 years ago. So cities in the Ganga Valley, so that was named came to know Magad. It was developed 25 years ago. Okay, so the present 2000 AD or CE. Okay, so these are the points which you need to remember. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. And if you want such kind of more videos, I'll cover full NCRT if you are interested in study. So thank you very much for preparing, and very soon I'll provide you full syllabus of NCRT's next chapter. Very soon I'll provide you. Thank you very much for watching.